on this computer. Yes, recording. Wow, we're doing it. This is happening. This is totally happening.
I'm ready.
All right. So, hi, everybody. I'm Carissa. I help high vibe women heal their hearts and attract new love. And I am here with Brandon Love, who is the CEO of Crumble Co. and one of my favorite people in the whole wide freaking world.
That's me.
And we were just talking about how, I was talking about how I was going to introduce him, and he's doing more things than we can really even talk about today. And he's had such like a long day already, and I'm just so grateful that he's here and he's going to talk to me. He's had like 3 days, like 3 normal people's days.
Just a day.
Yeah, and it's not even dinner time yet for him. So it's like incredible. So anyway, so what we're going to talk about today, I've had comments from people where they've asked me about the things that I teach about the law of attraction and love. And they have asked me specifically, well, do these things apply to the LGBTQ community? And I was like, I could do a video about that. I was telling my friend, and we were like, I could do a video about that, but it'd be like 10 seconds long. Because the short answer is, yeah, of course they do, because they're universal laws, right? And it's like, it's weird that we have to say that, but like I understand, I guess, why people might ask that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump into talking about Brandon and his love life and his adventures in manifesting love. And it's kind of like, right? And also because you're such a powerful manifester, Love, in terms of like just what I've seen you create in your life and the way that I've seen you stay so focused and to actually like to use your will and your vision to bring things into your life, relationships included, but also your business, and in a way where you had to stay with your eyes on what you wanted, no matter what was going on in the circumstances around you. And that is so crucial, not only just for, manifesting the other stuff you want in your life, but also for manifesting love. So I'm really excited that we get to talk about these things, and we will try to, I don't know if we can even try to rein anything in, so maybe I shouldn't even make that.
There's so many things. I mean, it all kind of ties together in a 360 circle, and love's just one part of it. I mean,
right.
When you talk about love, I'm like, yeah, well, that fits into here with this part of my life, which is career, and then the other part of projects that I'm doing and whatnot. Like, it all kind of manifest, and it doesn't just stop at love. So it's a skill that's kind of the circle.
Yeah, and for you, it's like you went from a place like you have this rich, beautiful, full life now. And you went from a place not too long ago that was sort of the opposite of that, like feeling really alone and feeling like really struggling and those kinds of things. And maybe that's the place to start. It's kind of like, how did you go from there to there and fill in the blanks of like love and, wealth and purpose and all of these other things? Where did you kind of start there?
Well, I mean, I was always trying to skip the steps that I didn't want to go through to just get love, because love is great. There's sex with love, and the codependency with love, and there's someone there all the time. It's a permanent friendship that they can't leave the house because that's where they live. That was great. But I was skipping really important steps in my career and who I wanted to be as a person. I didn't know who I was. If you look back a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was still just like, what am I doing? Who am I? Only when in the long scheme of things, figured things out. Did the right love come along? Did I start going through the right, relationships? Because I've gone through relationships that I'm no longer in. Mm-hmm. That have been like the most influential, best things in my life. Would never go back. But I would not trade them. The lessons I learned in them, I couldn't have gotten where I'm at.
Yeah, totally. And you wouldn't be you. You wouldn't be you. And the thing that's crazy is like, I know that there are some times where there's like a specific belief that gets tied to something else. Like sometimes people will be like, I can't manifest love right now, or I can't attract love right now because I just have to focus on my career. And it's like this limiting belief of like, I can have one thing or the other thing, So it's like,
let's be clear. I had both the whole damn time. That end result, I think when we're trying to manifest love, it's not what we need in the moment, it's what we want full circle.
Yeah.
And we don't even know we're going to want permanently once we're all settled into our life in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So early on, I'd find the relationships and the partnerships and the friendships that were going to serve me in that moment until I reached my next level. I kind of look at different periods of my time where I'm like, oh, I leveled up right then. I know that month. I know what I went through. My life changed a lot. My circles started changing all organically. Everything just flipped like a switch. I could point out the months and the days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's weird. Like if you're working on kind of your stuff and leveling up, you don't have to do a lot of other things to like change your environment. Like you're working on your stuff. And like you said, your circle just kind of organically changed as you up leveled. You know?
Yeah. And something would hurt me. I'd be like, why is this person disappearing from my life? Why is this relationship that I really built a lot into kind of fading away? I'm like, you know what? Well, it's not really serving me as much. And I mean, there's these more relationships that are coming along that are better for me, but human lizard brain, I don't want that.
Yeah. I want it to stay the same. I want everything to stay the same because it felt good and familiar and I could predict what was going to happen.
Totally. So my best friend 2 years ago, we were like brothers, glued to the hip. Our relationship totally fell out. He started working for me. That became very difficult. And now we are like brothers again. And it's really weird because we've sat down recently and talked about it. It's like, how did this even happen? And I'm like, we just kind of manifested you into the space that you needed to be into and me into the space that I needed to be into. And our relationship's better than it's ever been. Mm-hmm. It's on a plane that I needed to be on. It's professional, but we're still as fun as we've ever been. It's just weird because I watched this friendship die in front of me and I remember talking about it and we're reaching out to people like, I don't know what to do. I don't want this relationship to disappear. And now it's like in my life more than it's ever been. I see him every day.
And it's like whatever the conditions or whatever the circumstances needed to be for you to have that, they were just able to come into your life. It was just able to manifest in that way.
Oh yeah. I mean, on a larger scheme of things, I was trying to manifest a more successful company and relationships that were serving me, not just personally, but professionally, because it's really hard for me to have relationships that aren't involved with my work. Yeah. I think the company kind of full circle swallows you alive, and it's good because it's really fun and healthy and a great place to be. Yeah. And if you're not a part of it, you kind of disappear. And accepting that as the beast was happening, as I was manifesting it bigger and bigger, was hard to kind of realize, oh, I'm wanting A, and A comes with all of these little acorns that are going to get me to A.
Yeah. It was like, this business is going to swallow my life. So what I need is life and business working together and being a community.
I need people who want to play.
Yeah.
Long term.
That's so cool. And everybody wants to work for you. Like in your Facebook group, everybody's like, oh my God, do you have an open? I will come right now. Like everybody wants to work for you. Everybody wants to be there.
That's interesting.
Like you've built such a fun and inclusive and like encouraging and inspiring and enriching community. You know, like I'll see things in your Facebook group where people are just like, hey, I'm kind of bummed out about this or that today. Can someone post a picture of their dog? You know, and there'll be like 80 pictures of, you know, cute dogs. Yeah, we got you.
You can turn your whole day around by just jumping into that community.
Yeah.
And a lot of my life kind of grew around that community and allowing it to kind of eat me whole because I wanted it to grow and I wanted it to be a really big thing in the world. And it's like I had to accept that it was going to gravitate certain things away and gravitate certain things in. And it's weird when I started just riding the wave versus trying to like keep molding it in my direction. I just go, okay, we're going to keep following it, see where it goes. And it just went exactly where I wanted it to go. Way easier than I ever would have tried to force it to go that way.
So what do you think has been the hardest thing about trying to manifest love before you were in the relationship that you're in right now?
Oh God. Patience to not jump into something for the sake of jumping into something is one thing, but at the same time, our relationship happened so quick. I had to have a lot of stuff in my life figured out, I think, before I could allow anything healthy in. I had to like not just go, man, I want something healthy. I have to go, am I healthy? Am I healthy? And who am I healthy for?
Yeah.
Because I'm probably not healthy for the lawyer. I'm probably not healthy for the starving artist. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, you're so, I don't even, there's like not even a word that describes how amazingly unique you are. You're like, it's this creative, fun, like half of you is this creative, fun kid that's playing and having an amazing time. And then the other half of you is this like business prodigy, marketing genius, like 24/7. How do I get this message out?
yeah.
Guy.
That actually, you did it justice. There's a child and like a businessman wrestling.
Yeah, like Boss Baby.
Literally, that movie's about me.
And it's like, I mean, anybody that knows you for any length of time gets to see both of those parts of you. And I think that's like, that's such that balance by itself. Like, I love what you said about thinking about like, who am I healthy for? Because like being in a relationship with someone who's like that, it's a very rare thing to be able to be in partnership with an entrepreneur and not be an entrepreneur.
It's
and
hard.
Still be like supportive and get it and blah blah. It's like, that's a very rare person who'd have those qualities.
I think dating as an entrepreneur is like the hardest thing here, especially a young one, because you're around these communities that are all very trying to get their life pegged into a hole.
Yeah.
People who don't got their self figured out, and entrepreneurs often are like, well, I've got it figured out. I'm going to start this thing. I'm ambitious. And it just doesn't fit for most part. And then you throw being gay into the mix. And it's like, patience, who has time for patience? I'm just going to go on Grindr and find something.
Yeah.
You'll find a stepping stone, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, dating as an entrepreneur, so hard anyway. But like throw age into it, throw sexuality into it, and it's like, whoa. You know, I mean, that's like so much, because just the entrepreneur thing is enough to just break stuff up, because people don't get, even like when I was first working on my business and I was like in that crazy mode where you're just like, you suddenly know what you want to do, and then you see the list and it like rolls out down the road, like in one of those cars. It's like, this is 8,000 things that need to be done, you know? And I remember sitting at my desk doing things, and my husband would come in and he'd go, are you done? And what he meant was, what I had to teach him how to say was, bring food with you, first of all. Make sure don't come in here with no food and ask me questions if you know I'm working. So like, come in here, bring food, first of all. Secondly, make sure I'm not already on a call, like I'm not on a video with somebody. And third, ask me, are you at a point where you can take a break? And just that changed so much about like the way that, like, now he can come in and he's like, here's a sandwich. Are you at a point where you can take a break? And it feels
kind of like getting told, are you ready to go? Are you done?
Yeah.
And then reacting angrily, and then it just keeping feeding that. You're just hoping that they figure it out when you've given no decisive direction of what's going to be healthy for you.
Right. Yeah, you have to be, because before I would just get angry. You know, I'd be like, I'm not done. Don't you understand? I'm never going to be done. This is my business. This is my life. I'm going to have to do it. You know, it was like, yeah, exactly. So like, I think in any situation, just the entrepreneur piece is like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Oh man, it's so much. So yeah, and you handle things with so much optimism. Like I've seen you
owned that in recent years as I've gotten to work with a lot of people that aren't pessimistic at all, but just normal. I'm like, wow, I am oddly positive about a lot of horrible things. Yeah. Like when we got robbed and totally left for dead and everything was gone, I was like, we'll just have to get out of debt. And everyone's like, why aren't you like jumping off a bridge? And I'm like, because we can get out of debt. It's only, you know, $500,000. I only have nothing to my name. Like, what, why?
There's only one way to go from here, you guys.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't have the struggle. I'm at the start.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like when you've been through worse, you know the difference between like we're in big trouble and this is a problem. Like we can do something. This is just a problem. Problems have solutions. You know, it's a challenge, but we can do it. That's like, okay, you know, that's the difference between like that and someone I love is deathly ill,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or like something that just is like a real, you know, that's a real problem. That's not just, you know, like we can do this, we can handle this, we'll figure it out, you know. Yeah. And you've been for especially, you know, at your age, you've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Been around the block.
You've been around the block and really like, I mean, just like flying colors. Like you came out and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how everything is going. The business is like this, and I'm going to keep going. That business was not the business, but this business, you know, like you just rolled and kept going and then got there. And I think people don't a lot of times, you know, just, I mean, with even including love and trying to have a relationship and build a relationship into that, it's like, oh my gosh. It's like
it's always been one and the same for me. It's always been manifesting the whole picture of what I wanted in life. It's never been, you know, this is the perfect boyfriend. It's like, this is the perfect situation that I have a boyfriend with, that I'm working with, that I'm enjoying life with, that I'm enjoying these things, that the work got me. I'm just full circling it, building the picture out. And I'm living it before it happens. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to look for my multi-million-dollar mansion. I'm not, but I'm online looking.
Well, that's a cool thing too, because like you did that with your house that you've got right now, you know, and you were like, yeah, I wanted something that was by the water, and now I have this. And it's
so funny. I mean, we were looking at houses off the water because we were like, we're not going to find one on the water in our price range. We find this house, we go to it, we get inside of it, thought we were going to love it, hated it. Walked outside, it was near the water, so we walked down to the little boat slip, and the house to the very left, same realtor that we fell in love with earlier, who had a house that we didn't like, in our price range, called them up, put an offer in, and like 20 minutes afterwards, someone came in after this house was on the market for 3 years and put a cash offer in under us.
Oh my God.
We got the house, but by the thin skin of our teeth, like
just barely.
Like the whole time we're looking at these non-waterfront houses going, yeah, we need a house on the water, but we shouldn't. But like a house on the water would be so great. Imagine this and imagine that, but like we shouldn't. We did.
You did. I love how your focus has always been on like manifesting a life that you would love, as opposed to just like manifesting a great relationship you would want to be in, like manifesting that as part of a life you would love, as part of this like fuller, richer picture of like a big, beautiful life that you would just love.
I mean, I try to think of times I've tried to manifest after breakups, especially when you're manifesting the same person you just broke up with.
Right. Over and over and over again.
And I'm like, to think if I stayed with these model-esque, like busybodies, it's like I would be miserable now. Mm-hmm. Like they're unreal, they're rude to themselves, they're rude to others, they're so busy, I'm too busy. Mm-hmm. Like, and they're plucking their eyebrows in the morning, I have to get out the door in the morning. Like it's wild to think of the things that have been on my manifestation list that didn't happen because I'm busy manifesting the whole picture and they don't fit into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's such an important thing. I think so often when people are thinking about manifesting love, it's like Florence Scovel Shinn talked about like the 4 sides of the perfect square of life. So she talked about health, wealth, love, and success. And she described success as like just how you show up in the world and use your gifts, whatever that means to you, right? So I think people get into the love side of the square and then they put everything else on hold until the love part comes.
Like, I'll just build the square one at a time.
Right.
You can't lay foundation and build a house.
Right.
On the side of the house.
Right.
You have to lay that foundation and go up on all sides.
All sides. Right. Because it's like, you know, it's a weird thing to hear people be like, well, I'll go on that cruise as soon as, you know, my soulmate comes into my life, or I'll start exercising and get into shape as soon as, I have a relationship or things like that. Cause it's like, but you deserve it right now. Like,
it sounds like you're building a life where if you do all these things, you'll have a boyfriend, and you should probably go through all that checklist of things to start doing it since you've already done the manifestation work.
Right. Like this person's coming. You may as well do that now.
It sounds like you're just waiting to go through this checklist and go to the checkout. Like,
yeah, I know.
So funny.
It's an interesting thing. I understand kind of like the impulse behind it is thinking like, but it's like this idea of waiting for my life to begin, instead of like, I'm living my life right now.
Yeah. Thinking of myself back when I was literally basically doing that. It's like, why? I went through so many chapters single that were so phenomenal once I let go of that. And lo and behold, all of a sudden I have options in front of me and I can choose the healthiest one for both parties. It's crazy.
And it's weird now to like think of how happy you are now, and to think of how back then you might have thought like
I'm dead. I was falling apart. My life was over. That was it.
Yeah.
This boy.
Yeah. Like every time I just see anything about you and see like you smiling, every time I am so joyful. Like I'm just so like, I want to hug you every time. After we finish this video, I have to tell you about a dream I had about you like a week ago.
Deal.
Okay.
Secret. That everyone knows. Everyone knows, but they'll never know.
That's right. I had a dream about you a week ago. We're gonna talk about it after this. Yeah.
It's so funny.
But yeah, it's like to see. It's weird because you can never see what's coming from where you are. Like you can hope for it, and you can like think how great it would be, but it's almost like you never know what you're gonna want until you get another step. And then you see differently from there. It's like going up a mountain. You think you know what you're going to see. You think you know what you want, but then you get up to a higher elevation and you look around and you can see that there are way more choices when you get there, and then you just keep doing that. There's like the more you go up.
I didn't see it when I grabbed it.
And trying to pick between like a wood foundation and a concrete foundation when you don't even know what the house is going to be like.
Yeah.
You don't know paint codes. You don't know what the house's color is going to be and what color do you don't know.
You don't know.
Plan it out first. My entire life has been built around this whole concept of planning the whole thing out.
Yeah. And that's such a hard thing to do. It's like, it's so hard to do. But yeah. So love, manifesting.
It's all around you right now. Can you?
Well, I love that, like, in the room that you're in right now, you are just like surrounded in love. You got your man, you got your puppies.
It's like, to put one away. He chews his butt loudly.
Oh yeah, that's distracting.
That's him.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole thing about manifesting love, it's like, it's such a weird thing, but it's like, I think that self-love is the biggest part of it. What do you think about that?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I started manifesting what I wanted in a relationship when I was still dating like my abuser back when. Mm-hmm. And the breakup happened like a week later. I'm 3 years. And I was sitting there and I was like, wow, let's imagine what a really healthy relationship would be like for the first time. Yeah. I started going through it with things I wanted and stuff. And then a week later, find out he cheated on me. I end it like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Slow down. First of all, universe, you could chill out.
Like you could have let me, yeah. That didn't need to happen quite so abruptly, but whatever.
Yeah. Options are in front of me, and I'm out of my first relationship, and I'm trying to explore where I want to go in life. And, I hit it one after another. I kind of went around with different men and kind of figured out what men were to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Because I went into quite a few relationships knowing I'm not going to last in this one, but I want to play here.
Yeah.
If it happens, but I don't think it is. But I'm comfortable going into it for now.
Yeah. That is such a great place to be in with your mindset when you go in to be like, I'm just going to see what's going on here. But I think that might be harder for some people than it is for other people. I think that some people go into every relationship thinking this has got to be the one. And I
That's
will
how I
ignore,
started. Hates
yeah,
practice. Oh my Lord.
yeah. It's like, I will
Remember
ignore
I
every
started
sign to the
dating
contrary.
Jeff. I was dating like 3 other men when I started dating Jeff. And it wasn't exclusively dating, but I was going on active dates with other men. One night for 6 months. When I was going on active dates almost every other weekend for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not committing to a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep going around until I know.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what dating is. A relationship is when you go, I'm only going to be with you. Dating is when you're like, we are hanging out and getting to know each other. We are hanging out and getting to know each other. What, love?
You told me that definition. I was so
Yes.
headstrong in the idea that it's one at a time. You have to commit early on, which bit me in the ass so many times.
I know, because that's not what it is. And it's like, it's such a weird thing. We like, the dating process is so I will know if I want to commit to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But like, we think of it like, you have my phone number, so we are together. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird thing. It's like,
And then I would build these heartbreaks around men that I had met twice.
yeah.
Once. Like, I would build the heartbreaks into, like, my night. I have to go heal over it. I'm like, really?
But everybody does. Everybody does that. The other thing I've noticed so often is, yeah, everybody does. The other thing I've noticed so often is, like, people will be online and they'll think they're in a relationship with someone that they've never met in real life.
Uh-huh. That's a whole nother topic.
That's like another video, right? Like, we could do that, another video about what we think about that.
Oh my Lord. Every time one of my friends hit me with that, I'm like, oh God, you haven't met them yet. And they're in another country. And you're, okay. 3 years?
Yeah. Another country. Okay. So you've never been in the same room together?
Right. I know technology's advanced, but it ain't that advanced.
Yeah, it's like relationship, like the word relationship. That is my boyfriend. That is my girlfriend. We're together, but we've never been in the same room ever.
It just stunts so much growth in my experience of working with people like this and being in relationships like that. It stunts your emotional, like, love growth. It just stunts it.
Totally.
It's arguable.
Well,
in my experience.
I ain't gonna argue with you about it because I agree. But the thing about it is, like, it's weird because it's like, I think when people are kind of in a place where they're comfortable, and it's like, everybody wants to skip to the part of the relationship where it's comfy and you're in your sweats watching Netflix on the couch on Friday night together, and that's what you're doing.
Great when you're not in it.
Yeah, everybody wants to skip to that, but it's like, you got to go through the thing of getting to know the person first. So I think sometimes, you know, I'll talk to people that are like, yeah, I'm in this relationship when we talk every night and and I'm kind of just like, you've never met each other, you've never, like, it's like a desire for comfort and familiarity, but without like a true knowledge of someone, you know, or taking a risk without really taking a risk either.
Oh my Lord. That's a huge thing for our new generation too. So, like, ASMR, if you know what that is, it's like that virtual kind of role play.
I'm not going to pretend I know what that is.
And it's so fun. But people are obsessed with it because it's vulnerability without risk. Which is vulnerability. It's this weird, we need a new word for it. Brene Brown, where you at? Like,
yeah, Brene Brown, what's vulnerability without risk?
I feel like it's not vulnerability, but it's like a false vulnerability.
Yeah.
People are obsessed with it because it's available online just like that. People are kind of pouring it into relationships. We are really going off topic.
No, we're not, because it's all love. It's kind of, well, it's like intimacy without accountability, kind of like.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll do another video about that because that sounds very fascinating. That's a rabbit hole we need to go down. And then when we do that, we'll have wine or something.
Deal.
That's how we need to do that one, because I think that will require wine. I'll be like, okay, Brandon, I'm old and I don't know what you're talking about. So break this down like. Yeah, I'm going to need a whiteboard explainer video beforehand. Of how this works. So, yeah, manifesting love is like, I think the biggest thing for manifesting love is like having this clear vision of what you would like to create and loving yourself really, really deeply, and the vision part is like, I see that is a problem for a lot of people, because a lot of times there's no list of like deal breakers. There's no like must haves. There's no kind of like clarity about what a healthy relationship would feel like. Like when you said you were sitting down and you were toward the end of that relationship, and you were sitting down and you were like, what would a healthy relationship feel like? Like a lot of people, I think, maybe don't skip that. They maybe skip that step of like, what would a healthy relationship feel like?
And I got what I was wanting in that time. It's just that I got it. And I was like, wait, this is not exactly what I was, maybe this isn't the best thing ever. And then I kept following my steps of what is it now? What do I think it is now? And then repeat. I was just very headstrong on having a very serving, healthy kind of love in my life.
Yeah.
And so I was never afraid of going, man, this isn't going to work. And that sucks. I guess I have to let it go. I mean, not afraid is one thing. Heartbroken, falling on my knees, crying my eyes out, totally different. I was willing to do that, though.
Yes. And I love that you said you kept doing it. Like you kept doing it. So it would be like, well, okay, now what is it? Now what does a healthy relationship look like to me? Now that I've been through this and I know more. It's like your clarity about what would be good for you just kept evolving and evolving and evolving. And I think it keeps evolving. And we're really...
It's scary to ask yourself, because what if it changes and you're with someone that you really love? What
if it's not this?
What the heck? I don't want to ask myself that. It's in a hole.
That's scary, yeah.
I was like,
that's scary. We just bought a house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, we got to stay here. I cannot risk the introspection. There's too much invested. Yeah, I think.
Like, let's get there fast. Let's.
Yeah.
Before I buy a home with someone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. I love that you're like, I am willing to go through that pain if what's happening isn't really true for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to look at the truth of what's really happening and then let it dictate the decisions you make, even if it's going to hurt, you know. But I found that when we do the thing that we know we need to do, it's like the universe kind of conspires in our favor and does these things to like help lift us up. Like there's always this period of time where you go, okay, I want this relationship. Like I want the new thing. I want the next level. I want the whatever. And then the universe, I call it like, it runs this program called like confirm request. You know, so it's like you go, I want this great healthy relationship, and the universe runs confirm request, and then you get a call from your ex who wants to get together for dinner and talk to you about how much they miss you and blah 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 blah, and you're like, you don't realize you're being tested. Like you don't realize, like the universe is testing you and going, do you really want what you said you want, or are you willing to settle for more of the same?
Make sure before you like invest it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. I've had so many opportunities with that kind of situation with exes that would, you know, be coming back in town, or I'd see them again and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot do this, because I will end up that person, and that person isn't me. That person being the person I was with then. Like that person is not me. And if I was still with this person, who the hell would I be?
Yeah.
It would not be this. It would be something I don't want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather just be with someone where I can be me.
Yeah. Who you are now.
It's very nice.
Yeah. And the great thing is when there's room to grow together. That's cool. When they're like, you can evolve into this other person, and I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
We're still good.
He's so cute.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I've had 2 dreams about you in the last 2 months. One of them, I think I messaged you and was like, I had this dream about you. I didn't. I need to remember to tell you.
Now we need to wrap up because I'm ready.
Yeah, we do need to wrap up. I think we've covered, manifesting love and what it's like and all of those things. Is there anything else that you want to add? Like if somebody was out there and they were really struggling to try to figure their way out, and they were like, I've been using the law of attraction and this stuff's not working for me. And you're like, what would you want to say to somebody that's in that place in their life?
So law of attraction, magnets, things pulling together are easier to do when there are a lot of opposites pulling at each other and big groups of opposites. My fellow queers, it's a little bit tougher. It's a little bit more time consuming. You have to be a little bit more patient. That doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. Just a little bit more patience. I mean, if you get in this patience through all this crazy oppression stuff and government bullshit and the president, you can be patient for life. Just a little bit more. Don't waste that time waiting either. Work on you. That's it.
Awesome. I love you so much.
I
Ah. Thank you for being here. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to hit stop recording, and then we're going to continue. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Share a comment with us about, if this brought up anything new, any new viewpoints for you that you might not have thought about before. If you have a question and you're curious about something, go ahead and share the comment with us. And you take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.